So good evening, everyone. Welcome to our 2025 popcorn training webinar for Montana Council Scouting America. I am Levi Knight. If you do not know me, I am District Director for the Black Otter and Shortgrass districts here out of the Billings office. And next to me is my lovely assistant.
I'm Pat Danneberg. I'm the Director of Field Services for about 1 week. And so after this next week, I will be departing on to another scouting council, but I am excited to be here tonight and talk to you guys about popcorn.
Pat kind of buried the lead. He is not just departing to another scouting council, he is departing to be a scout executive at another council, which is a well-deserved promotion for those of you that know Pat and have gotten to work with him. We're sad to see him leave, but excited for this new opportunity for him. So tonight's training will cover three main topics when it relates to popcorn. The why we sell popcorn, what we sell as far as popcorn goes, and new products and old products, and how we sell popcorn, the different sales tools and online platforms that we will be using to help facilitate our sale this year.
I'm very excited to share with you guys tonight that the theme for this next year is Dinotopia. And so be prepared to pull out your Jurassic World, Jurassic Park type stuff, bring out the dinosaurs and the inflatable things and so forth, but be ready to be excited about participating in this year's theme, Dinotopia.
So let's get in real quickly to why we sell popcorn. Certainly is a multifaceted reason as to why we do that. First, it's for our scouts to help learn some skills, right? The responsibility, salesmanship, follow through, having customer service, setting goals and sticking to them, right? That perseverance through those goals. And then also, we're trying to raise money, mainly to help you and your units carry out your unit program throughout the year. That is the main reason for the popcorn sale. And so it can pay for everything from your camps and activities to advancements, gear, everything that you need, we hope is provided for by the popcorn sale, through the popcorn sale. Why do we sell again? Popcorn pays for our scouting adventures, right? It helps our scouts pay their own way and get to experience the best things about the scouting program. Popcorn equals program. We're not really selling popcorn, we're selling scouting and what we do, right? We sold just over $1.3 million in 2024 and units earned up to 35% commission on that sale. And that does not include prizes and all the other good things that go into it, right? And again, it pays for all those things listed there. We don't need to go through the list. I'm sure most of you are all old hat to this on what popcorn can pay for as we raise these funds.
So I just want to make sure everybody understands. There is a quick, easy formula on what a scout needs to sell. And so if you take the membership fee, if you take any day camp fees, summer camp fees, all the camp outs, any of the advancement, any troop gear that's needed, anything else that you might could add up as a cost through the year. And then you turn around and add that up and say, all right, this is what that cost is for that scout. And then you turn around and multiply it by 3. That's what you're gonna get as a scout's goal on what they need to sell for popcorn. As a unit, one of the greatest things you can do is turn around and create your budget cornered around popcorn. And one of the things you can find on our council's webpage, scoutingmontana.org/popcorn, is a budget worksheet to help you be able to put together this year's popcorn sale. So remember, add up all the costs, times it by 3, and you get a goal for what you need to sell in popcorn.
And here is what we're going to be selling this year. So a lot of old returning favorites. Don't be shocked if you don't see something on here. We did last year had 2 peanut butter products. This year we are just down to the 1 peanut butter product in the peanut butter cup. However, we are adding 2 new products. One is the Mountain Munch, which is like Cracker Jack covered in chocolate. And then there is a double butter, let's call it like a Butter Lovers microwave in a 28 pack. So, and then all the returning from the popping corn all the way up to the my son's favorite thing, the Chocolate Lovers. Not only because it's most expensive, but because it has the white ruby and all of the chocolate varieties plus the pretzels.
I've had that double butter though, Levi, and it is phenomenal. It is loaded with butter. I love it. So. Hey, for online sales, there's all sorts of different products that you'll see online. Just know that these products can be a little bit fluid throughout the year. So if they're trying to add or promote additional deals, if they want to add in coffee or something else, all these different things can be added through the year. And so just know and understand that these fluctuate. However, one of the things to make sure you understand is that the popcorn sale online starts on August 1st. And so know that's coming up. And what you can also know is that when Scouts start sending out links, it's actually a link that goes out for prpopcornstore.com. And just note that the shipping cost on popcorn online orders is built into the cost of the popcorn, so there's no cost in shipping. And then all these sales that the Scouts do online still count towards their popcorn prices. Know also that you have as a choice as a unit, hey, we do military donations, right? So you can be able to take donations at a storefront and then turn around and record those as military donations, and that'll count towards popcorn prizes. And so all these great things can happen for kids by selling popcorn, but military donations really help out even the local military branches and other first responders and so different things that we have here locally across the state of Montana. So military donations, great way. If somebody doesn't know what they want to buy, can't figure it out, encourage military donations.
All right, and we have 4 main websites that we use throughout the sale to help facilitate it. One is the prpopcorn.com. One is our own council website, scoutingmontana.org/popcorn. One is the PR Popcorn store that we just mentioned, the online storefront, and then myprpopcorn.com. The difference between prpopcorn.com and myprpopcorn.com, one is for the leaders and one is for the Scouts. We'll get into that in a little more detail later, but just so you're clear on why there's 2 different, very similar websites. And in addition, we have our popcorn at scoutingmontana.org. That is where you should direct any and all questions related to popcorn, so our popcorn team can help get those addressed.
Absolutely. And Levi, one of the things that you'll not see in this year's stuff to help leaders out is the Google Classroom. We eliminated the Google Classroom because it was a lot of hassle and it was one more website out there. But all these different websites, we're going to talk about them and how they work for you and help you today.
So the good question here, and seeing that there are currently 102 of us on this, is your colonel signed up? You can have more than one colonel signed up. If your unit is not listed in the email that went out today, your unit's not there, you're not signed up to sell popcorn. If you didn't get an email today, you're not signed up to sell popcorn. So we'll need to walk you through and get you re-signed up so that you have admin access on the popcorn site to help take care of all the unit ordering needs.
Yeah. And Levi, that sign up link is also available on the council's webpage too.
Yes, it is on the scoutingmontana.org/popcorn.
In addition to those websites, there are a couple things that you can throw on your phone for apps to be able to help you out. There's the myprpopcorn.com. That's more for the Scouts to be able to go out and sell. There's Colonel Tracker also that helps us as leaders be able to do a few things towards managing the sale. And then of course, you can put Square or a couple other different money collection, credit card collection apps on your phone to help you out with your sale.
Additionally, online on prpopcorn.com are all of the online resources provided by Pecatonica River. Those are training videos, printable resources, sales tools, learn about different payment options that are out there. All this is online, again, on the prpopcorn.com website.
And really when we talk tonight, there's 2 different avenues for websites and tools to be out there for use. There's what the leaders use, and then there's what the Scouts use. The leaders use prpopcorn.com, and then the Scouts are using myprpopcorn.com.
So using PR Popcorn, this is the quick and easy guide to how to do this. Let's talk about the leader side of this. Unit colonel signs up to sell. Again, if you did not get an invitation, or you're not getting the newsletter, then you are currently not signed up to sell. So let's get that rectified, right? If you're a new user, you'll request access. That's where we give you admin access. If you're a returning user, you just log in. We haven't purged anyone yet who was there last year, so we're working on our list as we get training, from this meeting and others. We'll add different users and make sure they have access, and then you start using it, right? So you can make sure you check your scout roster, add any scouts that need to be added. We can remove scouts, we can move scouts. There's all kinds of functionality in this PR Popcorn website for leaders.
And Levi, really what's going to happen is any leader that is new and wants to register as a colonel, of course, they've got to fill out our form. But then, starting on Friday, start sending us an email saying, hey, I'm a new user. I'd like to request admin access, because the returning users still have access. Yep.
I mentioned these great videos on prpopcorn.com. So you can see different options for training videos there. And getting more into depth as to what you might find if you click on that training videos link. So it's the overview of the Colonel Tracker, which is the app, the My PR Popcorn overview, which is the website for scouts, the Scout Boss platform, which is how you will enter your order, right? And then you can set up your seller IDs for the online sales for your scouts. Show you how to do all those things. In addition, I'll talk about all the tools that we have. So the Square sign up. If you need to know how to use a door hanger, I'm not going to judge, but it's on the website. You can watch the video, right? Same thing with the tote bag.
Yeah.
There's all, if you could get lost in there for days probably watching videos on Popcorn.
Okay, I want to talk about Colonel Tracker for just a second, okay? So you can use Colonel Tracker both on your phone with the app, or you can go to the website. I overall have a personal preference of just going straight to the website. I have a feel that I like the functionality of it a little bit better, and it's a little bit more normal website interface. But in general, you can use both, use either one. But we are going to talk about how you can possibly manage your inventory and view some of the stock, and then manage site locations briefly here in a second. So, but here's a couple of cool new features. So they did redo the PR Popcorn website. And if you get into Colonel Tracker, it was redone too, and some of the functionality has been redone or added. And so there's a couple of cool things. Once you're logged into Colonel Tracker, if you go in and you log in and get to your homepage here, and on the left-hand side, if you're on the website version, click on Scout, and it'll give you that roster of all your scouts, okay? There is a column in there, and it says show and sell, and it says take order for another column. In that take order sales column, there's a dollar amount. If it's at 0, or if it's at say $130 as the top line example on this page, you can click on that and it'll open up another box. And you can see another little box here, right here. But when you click on it for that individual scout, it'll give you all the different products that are available on the sales form. And then you can actually edit that and change the quantity of what the scout has sold, which is going to help you change the dollar amount and so forth. Now, why is this important? What we're asking every scout leader to do this year is to come in and at the end of your sale, take the sales form from every scout, come in here to the Colonel Tracker, click on the scout link, click on the individual scout, and make sure that the take order sales is updated for every single scout. Now, why do we ask that? It's because we're going to build reports this year on all prizes based on what you enter on this take order sales. This is a new feature. We're trying to make it simpler for you and try to give you a way to report and track in one place, okay? So hopefully this is a great new feature that helps make everything easier. Once again, you log into Colonel Tracker, you click on Scout, you get to the roster of all the scouts, and you turn around and you click on the take order sales part. You can start to edit that. Now, a couple other new features that are in here too that give you some great access. One is you have the ability to manage site locations, and a couple of the things that you can do is if you have a scout and you have extra product at the end and they're gonna sit in front of a store and you want them to sell in front of the store, you can actually assign them an inventory. You can go in and you can create different site locations that they may sell at with times. And if there's multiple kids that are assigned to that site, it will take the sale and split it up equally between the scouts. So if you need to do, if you have different time blocks for those scouts, so let's say somebody's doing from 8 to noon and another group is doing noon to 4, then you would put those in as 2 different sites in here, and then you can assign the scouts and assign product to them and track their sales through this feature. So, and then it will divvy out the proportional amount to each scout. So, great new feature. In addition to that, what I really want to make sure everybody knows is that in the kernel tracker, you can go in and click on scout summaries. When you click on scout summaries, you'll be able to see this outstanding inventory. You can create reports from this. But what's great about it is you would click on scout summaries, then you would take the drop down box that you can see here with names and the second red arrow a little further to the right pointing at, and you drop that down to where it says all scouts. And then up above, you have the ability to click it as one file or click individual files. I would recommend doing one file, but you can do whichever way you want on that, and then generate summaries. And it'll kick out an email report. It'll go to the email that's specified at the top there, and you'll be able to take this report and then look at total summaries and then go back over to Scout Boss and place an order. And so great new feature. Love this ability to be able to do this new feature.
It's a really great tool that we have this year to help streamline the sale. Now let's talk about the Scout side of things using MyPR Popcorn. So if you haven't been signed up before to sell online, then you'll need to get a registration email from Pecatonica River to get registered for this and get your seller ID for your Scout. Then you create your profile, then you share your link. It's super easy to do, and you can track who's buying, making sure that grandma, grandpa, or aunt and uncle, cousins, they're buying popcorn, right? You can see that all tracked on the MyPR Popcorn dashboard, which we'll see next. So as you can see here, this dashboard is where you can record your sales on your Scout side from Take Order and then share with people that are on or off social media. You can send emails out. You can do a QR code for someone if they want to buy online. So a lot of cool functionality in this PR Popcorn dashboard and in this sales platform for the Scout side of things. This is a new feature related to what Pat was talking about, where the Scouts will actually have, the Scout parents will have the ability through the MyPR Popcorn dashboard to record their door-to-door Take Order sales. Now, this doesn't affect the order at all. It's just more of a tracking tool for now so that they can keep track of what they sold, and that will roll up and the unit kernel will see that. Once the unit kernel, who has the ability to put in numbers here as well, puts in any number in any one of those columns over there, it'll lock the parent out from being able to edit that. So generally, till the end of the sale, when you're putting in final numbers and you want to track that, you have the ability to do that. So if you see on that box there where it says the very bottom line said submitted to by kernel, then the edit access is no longer there for that product.
Levi, you and I were talking about, we both have a little concern about parents being able to do this, right? And then
Sure.
The popcorn kernel is gonna have to be diligent, right? They're gonna have to look at the sales form, and then you're gonna have to turn around and compare it to what the Scout put in. And, so it's up to the unit on whether you tell parents about this function. But as a leader, you might be able to tell them this function and ask every parent to put it in this way, and then you ask for their sales forms at the end of the sale so that you can double check it. It's actually helpful in that manner that you actually have a double check of what's going on instead of just one person tallying everything, right?
Measure twice, cut once.
That's right.
As a new homeowner, learning that. I would also say on that end, this does, again, I just want to reiterate, this does not affect actually the order that you're putting in. That is put in separately through the Scout Boss. That's just for a tracking and sort of looking at the numbers on their face. It doesn't affect the order at all. So getting more to my PR popcorn. Again, I mentioned you can share with those not on social media. So you have a QR code that will take them to the profile, and they'll see a video or a picture or a little blurb that you put on there. And then at the bottom of their screen, they can click that shop now, which will take them to the online storefront to actually make their order. So.
Hey, Levi, I think it's now the time to say, if you're participating in tonight's training, that you should be able to email out to us to popcorn@scoutingmontana.org and tell us that you participated in training. Make sure you tell us your units that you're participating in, tell us your name, of course, and then also tell us this one secret passphrase, Dino Pop. So share that with us by email. We are not going to restate this again. Please don't share that with others and let them watch this video training, and Scout is trustworthy. Tools to boost your sales. Just know that, hey, look, there's all sorts of things. You saw the website. There's different things on the website. You can print out additional things. We have things on our council website to help you, but also just know there's the sales flyer, the take to work tents. You've got these tasting kits, and there's all sorts of other things that you really can look at this again and say, hey, this is helpful. So, but once again, Levi, that email, just in case you need it, it's popcorn@scoutingmontana.org. So now,
here are places that you can sell. So Pecatonic has given us some really great tools, the take to work tents, the order forms to go door to door with, and then the online store, right? So there's a lot of variety in how we can sell with the door to door take order sale, both online and in person, and even digitally.
So I want to share something that's a little different for us in Montana Council for our sale this year. So your district is going to have its own district kickoff. It's supposed to emulate how you have a kickoff. And at that district kickoff, you're going to be able to go and pick up all these different supplies and get your bag of all the goodies to be able to take back to your unit and have a kickoff. We encourage every unit to have a kickoff. At your kickoff, this is where your sales starts. Make it fair and hand out all the materials to all scouts at the same time. Once you attend your district kickoff, you will get the materials and be able to hand it out at your unit's kickoff. This is important. So as soon as you go to your district kickoff, and you're going to already see the dates and all the sign up emails and newsletter that I've been sending, but with those dates, you can go ahead and plan your unit's kickoff right now, because you know when you're getting materials, and you'll be able to know with scheduling when you can have your own kickoff. So also know the council is not giving you a start date. We're letting you go and start selling as soon as you have your materials. And the council's not putting out an end date for the sale. You as a unit need to schedule the end sale date. When do you want those forms all turned into you? It needs to be before the council expects your unit to put in an order. If you wait until the day of to collect all the forms for your unit and put in the order at the same day, oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy for you as a unit leader. Don't do that. Put the turn-in form a week earlier. Put it a couple days before. Put it in the weekend before, but don't do it the same time frame. Make sure it's set up easy for you as a unit leader, and we give you the ability to choose these dates to help you as a unit.
What are the cool things you can do for a unit popcorn kickoff? Make it fun. Look at, I got dinosaurs on my laptop. Pat's got a Jurassic Park. I don't know if he says trademark, but we got Dino Flare, right? This should be a party to get your scouts hyped up to sell popcorn. They need to taste the product. They need to know what the prizes are. Set their goals. We talked about how to do that math, right, with the budgeting, 3 times what the costs are. And then practice your script. Have a little mini sellers academy with how to sell, the safety things, right? What to say, how to be courteous and kind, right? All those things we want our scouts to be when they're out there selling. But overall, just remember that it should be fun.
You know, one of the things that I love in being able to recruit kids into scouting is we have something that we teach as table method. But inside popcorn at your kickoff, you can take that same philosophical approach and organize your popcorn kickoff in a similar manner. You can have your budgeting and your goals set over at one place. You can have the kids practicing a script in another location. You can have the safety message and then being able to learn the safe tips. You can also hand out all the information, all the dates, your units dates for kickoff and for when they have to have the forms turned in over at another place. And then you can also have your samples out for kids to taste. So much that you can do by separating it out this way. It doesn't allow us to stand in front of the room in this method and have one person present and sometimes not be as exciting. The kids can go around. You could even put a little passport together, Levi, and do some fun things that way. So
many hands make light work. This is our philosophy for recruiting, and now moving into popcorn with the table method and getting as many people involved to help as we can. Let's talk about the tasting kit. The purpose of the tasting session is to have every scout try the product, vote on their favorites. I told you my son's favorite was the $60 chocolate lovers because it had white ruby in it. That was his sales pitch, and he sold a lot of chocolate lovers.
oh, he did.
Because it's the only one you could get in there. So have fun with this tasting kit and get your scouts to really get behind the product that we know is a great popcorn product that we're getting from Pectin River.
So there's scout scripts out there. You can download them all. There's going to be one in the leader's guide that's going to be posted on our council webpage. And so there's some sample stuff there. But in general, just remember that the script is so important. Help these kids practice it at your kickoff. Don't let the first time that they do their script be at somebody's front door. It just doesn't work as well. Now, every Tiger Cub is always going to be awesome at saying this. They're not going to get it right, but that part of not getting it right is what's cute and helps them sell. But our Scouts BSA kids are going to nail this script, and they're going to be organized and tactful and very good at it, and that's what helps them sell. So, but remember that these kids, for this popcorn fundraiser, because it's a council-sponsored fundraiser, they can wear their uniform. They just need to know the products like Levi has been talking about. They need to be prepared. And one of the things that's so critical to it is that they always need to tell their customers, thank you. You have the ability to say thank you at the beginning when you make the sale and collect the money. When you go to deliver the product, you have the ability to attach a little thank you note then too. Those people that buy love that thank you. And remember, always be safe.
He said something about a Scouts BSA being organized. I got a daughter. It's a work in progress, but she's getting better. She sold a lot of popcorn. Here is the safety list that we'll do for the to cover how to be safe when going door to door and selling. Right. So this is a resource we have for you. You don't have to worry about remembering all these. This is a printable form that's on our website that you can be able to take, and it's 4 on a sheet, cut them out, pass them out so that they have their safety list on the do's and don'ts of the sale to make sure that our scouts are safe, which is one of our primary concerns.
Yeah, and we'll have these printed out and available in the kickoff kits too.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that is important, we've mentioned this a couple times, but not only is it important for the scout to set a goal, but it's important for the unit to set goals too. Those goals when you set them, it helps you work towards something and it helps parents understand. So if you're setting it, that means you've put time and thought towards being organized around that, which means also you've had the time to say, all right, if the scouts do these things, they're gonna be rewarded. What's critical about this is communication. Setting goals needs to be communicated. Write down the goals, because you have a safety sheet, write those goals down. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second.
We mentioned a lot of forms. All these forms are available on our website, that is scoutingmontana.org/popcorn. These are all printable resources, from the sales sheet to the door hanger to the price sheet, table tents, receipts, the fill it up submission, and the safety sheet, right? Some of these will not be available, that would be the sales sheet and the table tents, until about mid-September. And that is just so that we give every district an opportunity to have a kickoff and get the materials distributed, the physical materials that you'll have, the tote bag with everything in it that you'll get at your district kickoff.
Okay, let's talk square readers. So I am sure that many people know another person that never carries cash anymore. And if you try to ask that person to buy popcorn and they don't carry cash, it's harder for you to make a sale to that person. But it's a lot easier to make that sale if you have a Square Reader app and you have the opportunity as a unit to sign up for Square. Now, on the PR Popcorn website, there's training there on how to interact and use Square. But then you can also go to Square and get additional training on how to use it. But just know, for a heads up, you can go to squareup.com/I/PRPopcorn5. And on that website, you can start signing up. Now, if you're a unit and you already have the Square set up for your unit, just maybe consider signing up for Square again. And the reason why I say that is because when you go to this Square sign up, it gives you some time free without any penalties and fees to sign up. You have a choice of no fees, or you have a choice of being able to get some hardware for free. I highly recommend getting the no fees for, I think it's 60 days or 90 days or something like that. So, which would cover you for most of your popcorn sale. So just know you can sign up for Square. It's a great app, and you have the ability to, the pricing is easy. You can put in stuff with a clear price list, and you can put all the items in there and set it up so it's easy to click on and select. It's safe, it's secure, and if you don't have a signal, you can still use Square for your sale. So you can really run it anywhere. As long as you can eventually get back to internet, you can still use it, which is a great feature.
Yeah, and I would say about uploading the order form, there's actually a button that you can click in there once it's linked up to the Pecatonica, where it will upload that sales form automatically. So you don't have to worry about inputting all the popcorn. It's already in there taken care of.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about prices. This is everyone's favorite part of the sale, at least it's my kid's favorite part of the sale, is the cool prizes you can earn through selling popcorn. So here's the front side of the popcorn price sheet. What you need to know that's important about this is, first, prizes will be shipped to your unit kernel from a third-party partner. So the council is no longer distributing, shipping prizes. We have a company that we're working with to help us do this. And all the prizes, as always, are cumulative. So if you see there that there are 2 prizes, they get both prizes. And then working up, they'll get the next tier of prizes, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year, for however much they sell. So some great things here. I love the utensil. A tactical bag is great. Handheld game. We tried to do a little mixture of some practical camping sort of gear, as you see with the pillow and the sleeping bag, and then some electronics, some cool. We have a build a set of a model campsite, scout bricks. So that'll go along as well with those scout brick minifigs that we showed as well.
And Levi, that first one on there, it's a whistle combo, compass and all that. It's just the front and back side. So all sellers just get that one item.
Just that one item. Every kid gets a whistle.
That's right.
You're welcome.
It's a compass.
It is a useful survival tool. Here is the backside of that same price form with going up in the tiers, as you see, from 600 all the way to 8,000. We have sellers that sell beyond 8,000, but this is what we have on the sheet for you to account for how many scout books, what quantity of Amazon gift card you'll get, and the same for the denomination of the gas card. We also have a sweet patch this year with our little mad scientist dude riding a dinosaur. It's incredible. So if you sell the corresponding amounts, you get the different border on the patch, along with camp credits. And it's a lot here with prizes. We love prizes. If you sell $3,000, you can get into the Pecatonica River Winners Circle and select those prizes. Last year they had an electric scooter. My kids really wanted an electric scooter. I told them that they sold enough popcorn that I didn't have to pay for scouting. I would buy them an electric scooter versus trying to sell $3,000 for the Winners Circle. So. If you have vendors that don't take scout bucks, we can fix that. So I just saw that pop up. We have a form that we can do, and we can add vendors and get some more options for your scouts if you've lost vendors in different areas. So just reach out to your DE and we can get that process rolling on how to do that. So this is the fill it up and win for the daily and weekly prize drawing. If you are entered into this drawing, here's the important thing. You'll stay in it forever. So each completely filled popcorn order form will be entered in the daily drawing. Paper sales forms need to have 25. That is considered completely filled. There are 25 slots on there to be counted. Online sales do not count on paper sales sheet forms for entry, but daily online sales at $600 and above will. They'll be entered into that daily drawing. Okay, and then all the daily entries, like I said, will be entered into the next week of drawings, and all entries carry over. All winners will be featured on our website. Again, that's skymontana.org/popcorn. And those are the cool prizes. There's a tablet, there's a kayak, there's a tent, there's a Nintendo Switch. And my kid's really excited about the 3D printer.
Yeah, that's a really good 3D printer that's got auto leveling to it too. So it's a high quality 3D printer.
We don't play around with prizes here in the Montana Council.
Hey, so just wanted to help reiterate some of the unit commissions. This is also in the leader's guide that you can find on the council website, but you have a base commission of 26%, and then it just continues to go up there. So tonight's participation, the first leader that participates in this obviously helps count towards commission. And then if you have that secondary leader that also participates and notifies us, then you get the full credit of participating in the training. And then you'll also have a safety roster and payment on time with prize and so forth. So all of those things help give you additional commission. Then in addition to that safety roster, you can find that on our council website. We'll wind up emailing it out also as a link in the, from one of our newsletters. But just know that that safety roster is up so that you can put your name for every scout in there that's selling, and then also what their stated goals are for every scout. So when you go to your unit kickoff, you're going to want to help work with them to learn about the safety, but then also work to establish those goals. You turn all that in together and email that to popcorn@scoutingmontana.org, and then you'll be able to receive that commission. So just know that there is a bunch of key dates out there. Tonight, you're participating in the online training, but know that online stores open August 1st. District popcorn kickoffs are somewhere between August and September, so pay attention to the newsletter because that has some of those dates in there. And then also know that orders are due on prpopcorn.com on October 21st, okay? Scout total sales due on prpopcorn.com. So you have all these things due. Why are Scout total sales due on prpopcorn.com? It's because if you put their sales in, that's where we're pulling from for the popcorn prizes. So in essence, that's saying you must have your popcorn order and your prize numbers for your sales for each individual scout all turned in by October 21st. So now, product pickup is slated to be somewhere district by district. It'll vary, but it'll be somewhere between November 4th through the 6th. We hope to have popcorn invoices ready by November 4th so that when you're having your popcorn picked up, if you want to have the option of paying that same day, that you can. Now, council popcorn prizes will start to ship somewhere November 12th, but they won't start to ship until you make that invoice payment. Now, the online store closes on November 23rd, and the final payment due the council is due on November 25th. Now, November 25th is a Tuesday, okay? Now, normally we say Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but this year the scout offices across the entire council are closed for half a day on that Wednesday. So we wanted to make sure Tuesday, November 25th is the last day for final payment, okay? After that Tuesday, if you start making payments for popcorn after that, you start losing commission, okay? So just be aware that you need to make sure you have your payments due by then, okay? Now, the council itself will start to make all final downloads for scout sales totals on the 25th. So if you make your payment before the 25th, we'll go ahead and pull your report for what you have on scout sales, and we'll get it sent off to the vendor that's helping us be able to do popcorn prices. But if you wait till the 25th to make that payment, we'll start to send it off after that, and we'll start to make sure we get all the prizes sent once those payments are done. So
just a quick address the timeline of the sale. So once your district has your district kickoff and you have your materials and you distribute your materials to your scouts, that is when your unit sale starts for the door-to-door sale.
Yeah.
All right, and online sales, as we mentioned, those open on August 1st. That is next Friday, and they go through November 23rd. So those online sales will count towards the prizes and the prize accumulation there throughout that whole timeline.
And just to reiterate one more time, popcorn invoices, we're looking to have them out to you November 4th. There's a couple of things that could vary that by a couple of days, but just know we're hoping to have those popcorn invoices ready for you when you pick up your popcorn so that you at least be able to see those. Now, be aware, popcorn invoices can fluctuate. If you have people that continue to do sales online, that may vary things on what you owe for your popcorn invoice. So, further explanation. If people continue to do online sales after the 1st of November, after that October 21 even, those additional online sales will continue to reduce the amount you owe the council on your popcorn invoice. So if you want to play it safe, you can wait to, if you have people continuing to try to sell online, just wait all the way until the 23rd, 24th, 25th and make your payment then, because we'll be able to recalculate it then. So
Prizes will not ship until the invoice is paid, which means that you would not have any sort of additional sales after that.
that's right. And overall, once the 23rd hits, we'll be able to do that entire pool on what the scouts have sold. And that's the date when we start saying, all right, who sold the most in the council? And we start tallying up and can say who sold the most by districts, who sold the most by a council. And so all those sales this year are cumulative all the way through to the end and count towards the top sellers and so forth. So just be aware. But once you make that payment, we put in something for popcorn prizes. And any sales after that online do not count once you've made that payment and we did that pull for popcorn prizes. Because we won't have the ability to fix or send once we've sent off for that popcorn prize to be mailed. So just be aware of that.
All right, well, we've reached the end of our presentation. I'm sure that there are still questions that haven't been addressed. So I just first and foremost want to thank you for being here tonight and taking time out of your summer to talk with us about popcorn and learn more about popcorn.
Yeah, very appreciative for everybody being here tonight. Just remember, if you have questions down the road, make sure you email popcorn@scoutingmontana.org. If you're trying to sign up for something, can't find something broke in the system, you're not sure how something works, and you're stuck and have that question and need help, make sure you email
popcorn@scoutingmontana.org.
Can't say it enough. popcorn@scoutingmontana.org. Notice we didn't hand out a phone number for anyone to call or anything like that. We have a team of people to help answer those emails at popcorn@scoutingmontana.org. So appreciate everybody. At this point, we're going to turn around and get out of the PowerPoint slideshow. But thank you for coming tonight.
So seeing some questions come in here. No, there's not a date that people have to request access by. We can put in anyone access at any time. But if there is someone that doesn't have access, we need to know that so we can get them added. So there's not a deadline on that. I don't think we have the ability to sell tasting kits. Tasting kits are very limited. It's the first run of popcorn that they have that comes out of their production line. And so there's just a limit on how much of those we get. So we don't have that ability, unfortunately. Yeah, there are other online payment options. Square, with getting the ability to waive that processing fee and other things, is the one, plus they're set up already with Pecatonica to make it easy to click in there and have the products on there. So
at this point, you're welcome to turn your videos back on and turn your audio on too.
The question about safety rosters, I believe it was on that safety roster, but maybe do we have a date for when we want the safety rosters turned in? Because it's not on the timeline.
So safety rosters can be turned in anytime really in the sale. We know and understand that you guys may adjust those safety rosters. So if you need to send in an updated one, that's also great. We appreciate you sending in updated ones. But really and truly, once you have your kickoff, why wait 1 week later to send it? Go ahead and just have somebody knock it out that night and get it done. You can actually have somebody sitting at your kickoff, typing those in as people do on that night too. So it makes it super functional and easy that way.
Yeah. I see a bunch of questions about this presentation. Yes, this presentation will be available. Both the video will be sent out and the slideshow itself will be available on scoutingmontana.org/popcorn. District kickoffs, those vary by district. So typically it's August, September timeframe. Ours in Black Otter is always that first Tuesday in September, which coincides with our roundtable. So those should be on calendared, and you should get more information about that.
Levi, somebody just made a comment, hey, our website doesn't match exactly where, so just know we tell you the website, scoutingmontana.org/popcorn, and then it forwards you on to another portion of the website. But it is so much easier for it to roll off the tongue by saying scoutingmontana.org/popcorn. And it's easier to type too.
Yeah, if you pay your invoice and more online sales are made, yes, then there'll have to be some sort of reconciliation on the back end to square that up to make sure that everyone is made whole. Yes, we'll get the slideshow. The amounts for camp credits, I believe, are $10, $25, and $50.
Yeah, you can find the list. It's actually on the back side right here of what they get for how many Scott bucks and so forth.
So, all right, council, this is with units who pre-order. Theoretically, Shannon, yes, the council popcorn person will be able to assist with units who pre-order. Crossover cubbies. Yeah, so that's something too. There's a few different ways that we can add scouts when it comes to getting crossed over or joining or from a pack to a troop. My kid just got a new seller ID because the troop added them and they generated a new seller ID. If they want to retain their same seller ID for perpetuity, then we have to do that sort of on the back end. There's not a way for the units to do that. So we can figure that out.
Hopefully we kept this short and fast enough for you guys tonight. We kind of flew through that, but keep those questions coming. I know people are still asking in the chat box. You're welcome to speak through your microphones too.
So yes, the PDFs of the sales sheet will be available. They will not be available until every district has had their kickoff.
And Scout Bucks are only feasible to use inside the state of Montana. I know Shields helps out and does Scout Bucks, but just know Shields does not do Scout Bucks outside of the state of Montana because they don't have a clue what's going on with it.
I would say I had one note on Scout Bucks. So you guys were talking about vendors that aren't accepting Scout Bucks. We have several banking partners that take Scout Bucks, same as cash, deposited into a checking or a savings account for a youth. So you could literally go anywhere you want with Scout Bucks once you put them in the bank, and they're essentially converted to cash. So that's a cool thing that we have. First Interstate and Stockman take Scout Bucks off the top of my head. I think there are others.
If you have new businesses that want to do Scout Bucks, just reach out to the popcorn at scoutingmontana.org and start the inquiry there. You can also reach out to your district executive.
Email popcorn@scoutingmontana.org. And if you scroll back up in the chat, there is the keyword. I'm not going to say it again, unfortunately, because we want to make sure that everyone needs to watch the training to get the word.
Yes. So if you're just joining and you didn't hear the special keyword earlier, yeah, you might want to rewatch because look, there was a lot of new components to the training tonight. So, and the entire training is important tonight. And so we would appreciate you watching the entire training.
If you have Scouts that dual registered, that is something that you need to figure out. I don't have a suggestion on how. I'm assuming you're talking across a troop and a crew, and I don't really have a suggestion with that other than figuring out what is a fair and equitable solution for splitting up sales. I would say that in my household, I have 2 kids that sell popcorn. It's very hard for both of them to sell the amount of popcorn they needed for prices. And so at one point during the sale last year, we realized this, and my daughter switched to selling only Christmas wreaths, which is what her troop does, so that we could go to a house and we were making double sales because they were buying popcorn and a Christmas wreath, almost all of us.
And I saw somebody asked about the safety roster again after we had answered the question once, but just want to make sure safety rosters, you can find them available for download on the council website. If it's not quite there, it'll be there probably by Friday. But just know those safety rosters don't have a specified due date, but essentially if you have your kickoff, you should be turning those in shortly thereafter your kickoff. And yes, by all means, if you need to update that through the season, please send in an updated one. We would appreciate that. So
the website is still a work in progress. So those of you concerned that it shows the wrong email address, we will get it updated. So we're adding assets and making changes to the website. So it's a safety roster. We're not going to pull up the slideshow again, unfortunately, for commission. If you have a specific question about commission, then we can certainly discuss that, but we're not going to go back into the slideshow to.
That commission structure is also available in the Leader's Guide, which isn't quite up on the website yet, but should be by Friday.
When do businesses need to be signed up for Scout Bucks? Sooner is better than later. And I would say at this point, they're not going to be on the printed Scout Buck. So that's always something that we have. But we can sign someone up at any point as long as they fill out the memorandum of understanding and the agreement with our council to accept Scout Bucks. You should be able to go in and edit how many. The question is, when I transferred to the new kernel, I just put in how many scouts and what our goal was. I think you can still edit that, but it's really just kind of more for reference. We put the kits together based on actual enrollment, registration in a unit, and then your district executives will have those kits here in the next few weeks, and then we'll be distributing them to you. So.
And just so you guys know, also, in case you're wanting to also use the logos that we've had tonight, there were 3 different logos that were available in the presentation tonight, all wrapped around that dinosaur and this mad scientist guy. Those are available. They were added into the Leader's Guide so that you can use them there. There's one of them posted on the council popcorn webpage, and then they'll also be in this PowerPoint, and you'll be able to rip them out of the PowerPoint too.
A few other questions here. Scout Bucks do not expire. You're welcome. Video link will be available as soon as it processes and we can get it out and edit it and get it everything squared away. So it takes a few days to do that. More questions about the secret code word. Someone posted the commission slide. I'm not sure if we send out the renew. I think with essentially the way Scoutbucks works is someone's on there until they say they don't want to be on there. So we're still trying to figure out with past departure who is going to be taking the lead on some popcorn things. But we'll make sure to get that handled. And we have suggestions for businesses to approach for Scoutbucks, which is always nice. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything else that we need to address?
Hey, so many of you guys have stayed on tonight. Sure appreciate you coming tonight, spending time with us. Really grateful that you're here, grateful that you're doing popcorn with your kids. Look, popcorn is one of those things, sometimes people really drag their feet, popcorn, especially as leaders, right? But if there was something else out there that was even better than popcorn, where the council could support you to help it function and be as easy for the kid and parent, we would do it. But popcorn makes it so real and helps us be organized in so many different ways. And so our kids have the ability to go out and do an entire year of program just because of popcorn. And if you organize your unit right and well on the front end, gosh, your kids can have an entire year of fun and not have to pay anything. You don't have to pay for camp house, you have to pay for anything else. So I've always been blessed with my kids selling popcorn and us not having to pay fees to go and do all the amazing things that we've done. So any other questions, guys? You're welcome to turn your videos on and audio chat too if you want.
I just want us to talk to the black screen.
Yeah.
If the math is the math on the commission, what the numbers add up to is what it adds up to. I'm not good at math on the fly to tell you, but 38%, that sounds like a.
No, it's not.
Okay, then there's some error because that's what it adds up to.
Whatever it is.
Sorry, I saw one other question in here. Again, the link will be available on the website. It'll get sent out. So we'll send it out via the Popcorn newsletter. It'll also be live hosted on the Popcorn page of our website, and it will go up as soon as we get it processed and cut down and uploaded to where it needs to be so everyone can watch it.
Yeah, sorry, you said 38%. It is 38%. So yes. So it's 26% base with another possibility of 12 percentage points added on top of it.
Oh, Kelsey says, good luck, Pat, and to tell Mando, my son Leif, that she will always buy popcorn from him. She just needs his link. So I'll hit you up for that for sure, Kelsey. Thank you everyone again for being on tonight. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Levi.knight@scouting.org. That's my email address for now. And also if you do the popcorn at scoutingmontana.org, then that will also go to someone to answer questions. Tiffany, do you have a question?
Yes, so there's a 10% bonus on any increase from last year.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you had, let's say you sold in 24, $25,000, and in 25 you sell $30,000. Okay, well that $5,000 you would get an additional 10% commission for.
Okay, not like 10% added on to the 38.
Yeah,
10% on the increase.
Yeah, 10%
Okay.
on the increase.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Great question though, Tiffany.
All right, we did it in a clean 60-ish.
Yeah, and Tiffany, to help further answer your question, and for those that are still lingering, we take those commissions, the online commissions, any of the extra 10% or any of those other things, we will calculate those in when we do that first initial invoice. We will calculate that into your invoice. So the online commissions will affect it, any of the 10%. So when you start going through your sale this year, you'll start looking at your invoice and be like, Why the heck is it so high? Okay, it's because it hasn't been recalculated with the discounts from online sales commissions and anything else, so.
Then how do we know how much we sold last year? Is that in the?
Yeah, so all you have to do to find out how much you sold last year, go log into Scout Boss. So go to the PR Popcorn website. And then once there, you log in and go to Scout Boss. And inside Scout Boss, you can start looking for your popcorn history and sales.
Even if we weren't on there last year?
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tied to the unit.
It's tied to the unit and that unit history going back to a 2019, 2020 or something like that.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Tiffany. Nobody told me my Triceratops fell off my computer. I'm very disappointed, but it's okay. It's all right. All right, thanks everyone. This recording will be sent out as soon as it gets processed, and Leaders Guide, all that good stuff coming shortly. So thanks for all you do for the Montana Council for our kids. Appreciate you. Thanks, Pat, for your service to our council, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, go scouting in Montana.